All right, so this is question 17 on the practice test, and it's amongst one of the more confusing ones, right? So let's go through this line by line and see what's up, right? What do we have to start off with? We have this class employee, right? Not really doing too much. Then we have this class manager who's inheriting from employee, right? And then we have our driver class. So let's see what's going on here by going into main and just tracing out some code, right? So here it just looks like we're declaring three objects from three different references. So let's go ahead and sort of denote that, right? So EMP is going to stand for employee. EMPE is going to be assigned to an employee object, right? We have a manager reference, M, who's going to refer to a manager object. Then we have another employee, but we have an employee EM who's going to refer to a manager object. And this is okay because manager is a subclass of employee, right? It's inheriting from employee. So this is a totally legal line. Now we're gonna go to this checking online, right? We're gonna be passing E and M, so E M, into this method here, the static method. Okay. So here, something to note is that even though E2 is of type employee, because manager is a subclass of employee, you're allowed to pass in a manager reference to the, I guess, E2 who is an employee, right? So E2 is an employee reference. Here we have a manager reference. That's okay though, because managers are subclasses of employees, right? They're kind of like the children of the employee class. Okay, so now we have, if you know, E1 corresponds to this object here, E2 corresponds to this object here. Now we have to do E1 dot work. Okay, so E1 is it this employee object here, and we're just going to invoke it to work method. But now, which one do we print out, right? Which one do I choose out of these two employee methods? Because again, right, this is an employee reference. It can only see the methods that are in employee, right? This is 100% an employee. It's not like an employee who's taken on a manager object. No, no, this is just employee, meaning that I can only see these two methods. But again, which one do I choose? Do I choose the one with employee or do I choose the one with manager, right? So strangely enough, right, Java is actually going to make that decision based on what E2 is in the function prototype, right? So even though we passed in a manager reference that pointed to a manager object, right? Java makes the choice between these two by looking at the function prototype and looking at the type of E2. It notices that the type is of type employee, so it actually chooses this one, right? So we're going to print out now A to the screen, right? So now we're expecting A to be printed. Let's go ahead and check our answer. So yeah, it looks like A would be the answer you'd want to choose. I hope that helped.